Good morning. Hi, File. So I just spent my first night here on the land outside my house, camping out under the stars. Mr. Fievel snuggled with me all night, thankfully, because it was pretty cold, a bit colder than I expected, but I did a great job. I built a fire, so the fire is just going out now, which is good timing because the sun is just rising. I think it's, yeah, about 6 a.m. now. Oh God, look at those pink clouds up there. Oh. And yeah, it was such a beautiful night, just being here on the land. I spent all day yesterday, Sunday, so today's Monday. I spent all day Sunday just hanging out here, connecting with the land, saying some prayers, making some offerings. I really learned an important lesson in my time communing with the land. I learned that my role here is as an intermediary between, like, in the ecosystem. So an ecosystem is a set of interrelated elements and parts that create patterns and you know, use and store energy and create abundance and grow life and, you know, grow food and, you know, maintain life, right? An ecosystem is a system and patterning of life. And so in order to have a healthy ecosystem, we have to, interact with the other beings and creatures in our ecosystem in a healthy way. We have to contribute, we have to show up. Yeah, and I really just learned that, like, my role with this land is to be like the go-between between the outside world and this place, and to bring in, like, abundance in terms of, like, nutrients and, like, good bacteria and, like, mycelium, you know, water, you know, the fertility, right? In terms of like my role as like a steward of the land is to do my part to encourage and promote the fertility that then Stella, my fierce protectors, and that's what promotes life. Stella, come here. Stella, choo-choo. My neighbor Dottie is up and about. So yeah, you know, so I was thinking about it and just like in the bigger terms of, like, you know, an ecosystem could be, you know, me here with these trees and the land and planting food, right? But your ecosystem can also be like your home and your family, or your job, your business, your company, right? We create these ecosystems, and it's so important that if we want to have a healthy ecosystem, and what a healthy ecosystem means, it means resilience through hard times, it means abundance, it means fertility in terms of, like, creating new life, providing for everyone's needs, like, right, taking really good care of everybody involved, everybody who's participating. And that's really, it's important, especially when we think of, like, yeah, how we operate as, like, groups and communities. And what I really learned yesterday was that the best thing we can do for our ecosystem is show up in our power, taking good care of ourselves, and then showing up for others and doing our part to help care for others. And when we all do this, right, then that's what creates this, like, healthy dynamic, this healthy resilience, this healthy space and place where everyone is getting their needs met and everyone is cared for, right? So the problem is when some people, some nodes in the web, right, become, like, overcome with, like, selfishness or greed, and then hoard the energy, like hoard the resources and don't pass it on. And then that's when we, you know, it's like, think of like a water source drying up, like the water doesn't flow, so the water dries up, and then the landscape becomes barren, right? So it's like, in order to really create abundance, we have to be participating in the flow of, like, giving, receiving what we need, but not hoarding, not taking more than our part, you know, definitely taking care of ourselves, but also being really mindful of, like, caring for, like, the other beings and creatures who depend on us. And yeah, you know, beings, creatures, it can be children, dogs, family, you know, your employees, the soil, right? The trees, the plants, the animals, you know? So, you know, we're all living in this like really amazing interconnected web where we're not islands, right? Like we're connected and we're in relationship with each other. And I think that the more we can just really come into right relationship, which is really remembering that, you know, what I do affects you, the choices that I make affect you. And also just this idea of like, okay, so there's this like great spirit, like God, universe, it's kind of like the grand conductor of the orchestra, right? And I very much also understood yesterday that like God is blessing us, and God wants to see what we're going to do with our blessings. Do we hoard them for ourselves, or do we share them? Do we pass them on, right? Like, what are you doing with your blessings? Are you fearfully holding on to what you can get, afraid that you're not going to get your needs met if you, right? Or can you be, yeah, just like relaxed and trusting, right? Because there's also trust in giving, right? We give and we trust that we're going to receive, and it's just like we're part of this like interconnected flow that's passing the energy onwards, and you know. So anyways, I had such a good time building this fire last night. I've never before felt so deeply connected to my ancestors as I was on this experience. Just recognizing, like, I actually wasn't planning to spend the night. I brought what I needed, but it wasn't my original plan. But I decided, like, you know what? I can make a fire. I've got a sleeping bag. You know, I've got a bunch of candles. I brought a meal. Like, I could spend the night. And so it was such a fun process, like going through and like picking out the stones. Actually, so up there's like a big pile of like, actually here, stones and firewood. And I went up to the pile and I was like, all right, stones, like, who wants to be part of this fire? And just, I don't know, like really intuitively, I just kind of like picked out, okay, who wants to be part of this fire? And it worked out so perfectly. And I've never really built a fire like this on my own, starting from like hearth, like placing the stones. And I just like, yeah, I just sung this like really beautiful song about like calling on my ancestors to like guide my hands to like place the stones. And yeah, and it worked out really well. And I got this nice piece of flat slate where I had my pot here, so I was able to heat up. I was able to like build a fire, keep myself warm, heat up some water, fill my thermos with hot water, you know, like it was a really cool experience just to be like, yeah, I'm strong, I can do this. I got my machete to cut some firewood. It's like, all right, I can do this. It was great. So I'm really grateful. And so I have a little bit of time before the workers arrive. So right now my task is I have to really kind of finalize my vision of how do I want these windows on the first floor. And so the cool thing about building with earth like this is we can have very easily, you can get very organic, curvy, very like sort of feminine shape. So yeah, so I'm gonna go spend some time inside. I'm really looking at kind of like, I feel clear about what I'm going to be doing here on the kitchen. This is the kitchen here, but on the other side, the bedroom, because now, oh, did I tell you? I don't know if you heard, but I was faced with a big decision based on the shutdown on my Facebook page, which thankfully has come back, thank God. But that big shutdown and that sort of like drying up of the well, right? Like drying up of my resources made me really face and question, okay, like what can I afford? And Ashley put it out there that, listen, we can change this. We had a plan to do 2 stories, and we can simplify and make it more affordable and just do 1 story. So I meditated on it, I prayed on it, and I decided, yes, you know, let's go ahead and do 1 story. Oh look, I even brought my book. Let's go ahead and do 1 story. Let's go ahead and do 1 story. This is my book, if you haven't seen it. This is Leaving America with Erica. This is the journey about how I got here. So I decided to forego the 2 stories and really just kind of like simplify and just create like a little nest, a little 1-story nest. So and I'm excited about it. You know, even last night making my little nest there. Hi, Stella. Hi, girl. Hi. Hi, love. Hi, love. Ooh. Yeah, I'm even just making my little nest last night. Hi, Fivel. This little nest last night with my bedding and the fire and the dogs. Like, it was just like, you know what? Like a little nest is great. Excuse me. So, welcome to my nest. So this is gonna be the bedroom here. This is gonna be the kitchen. Right now they're mixing the cob. They're preparing the mix of the cob that they're gonna use to build the rest of the walls. So, oh, the sun is just coming up over there. Ooh. So I need to spend a little time here just kind of visioning of like, what do I want these windows to look like? The concern is, you know, because it's a nest, how do I make the windows so I have privacy? But the good part is I don't know if you can see this, but I'm kind of up on a hill here. So, it's not like someone over there can like see in my window because they're at a much lower level. But yeah. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being with me. I love you so much, and I will see you soon.